Welcome back to another Gaming Memories video. Here we are actually taking a look at Destruction Derby 2. This is actually a sequel to the original Destruction Derby game, one of the early games released on the PlayStation console back in '95. This was released roughly about a year later in 1996, and let's just put it this way, oh boy, this is definitely a totally different experience compared to the original game. Yes, the original game was all about destroying every car that you raced against, and it was quite hectic, and it offered a lot of value and really unique playability. But this game just ramps that up 150%. Like, this game is just literally balls to the wall, absolutely insanely crazy. This is one of the craziest racing games, if not the craziest racing game, most insane racing game I've probably ever raced, because this game is just absolutely mental. It's way faster, the tracks are bigger, it has an awesome rock soundtrack. Like I mentioned, the cars are a lot faster. This game just really goes to town on destruction. It's just seriously just crazy, and it is immensely frantic in the pace of the game. It is definitely totally adrenaline at its best. You know, if you want an adrenaline fueled game, you've got to play this game. I remember, like, when I first played it, I remember actually a first experience was actually of a video, or what they used to call back in the day, a rolling demo. Came on like a demo CD. I remember the very first experience with the PlayStation that I ever had. I'll leave a link in the description to that video. One of the demos that my mate Mark actually had, there was Formula 1, there was a playable demo. There was a playable demo of monster trucks. There was a playable demo of Wipeout 2097, but there was a video demo of Destruction Derby 2. Now, I couldn't play the actual game, but I was able to watch the video, and I just looked at it and I thought, this game looks absolutely mental. And I had played the first one and I thought it was actually awesome, but I was completely not ready for what I was going to experience when I played this game, like when I finally actually got to play it. If anything, I remember my first experience, I rented it out actually one weekend. Well, we rented out the PlayStation, and I decided to get this game because I had wanted to play it for a while, and I thought it would be, from seeing it, I was like, yeah, it's going to be crazy, but I assumed that it was going to be something similar to the previous game, which it is, but it's just 10 times more, or 100 times more frantic. And I'll be honest, when we first played through it, my first couple of playthroughs of it, I was completely overwhelmed by the pace of the game. I wasn't sure what I thought of it at first, actually, which is quite crazy when you think about it, because it was completely different from the other game. The other game had a nice kind of steady pace with it when you got into it. Yes, it was crazy, but you could master it to some degree. This game is just, there's no room for error, and even if you are having a fantastic race, the other cars are never too far behind you, and if they are, you can guarantee all it takes for you is one slip up or crash into one wall, or the cars will literally just destroy you. It's just, every race in this game is just absolutely just bonkers. This game is bonkers. And it's funny because then the more I played it, once I allowed myself to give myself a bit of time with it, and once I could actually get the hang of the controls, because it's so twitchy and it's just, everything's just fast and frantic, you have to really be on the ball, and you really have to have your wits about you when you're playing this game and be ready to react at any given moment. And you really do need to literally be good at reacting to the controls and so forth, because any slip up at all and you are destroyed. But the tracks are really cool. There's loads of jumps. Everything is just completely different from the original game. The tracks are completely opened up. You've actually got insane jumps like you'll see now in a minute. It really is just, not only is it like a proper crazy destruction based game, but it's also a stunts based game as well, because it's just absolutely insane. Like, I thought, like, say, the Wipeout series was fast. This game is definitely the most frantic racer I've ever raced on any console, pretty much, in my opinion. And I played a lot of really frantic racers, but this thing is just absolutely just, it's on another level. It's like it's on steroids. This game is just really just insane. And I think that's what actually happened. I was intimidated by it when I actually first played it because I didn't know what to expect, because it was so frantic. It was way more than what I'm used to. Like, I am used to fast-paced games, but nothing to this level. This was just completely something else. Because there's so much going on at any given point, and you really do have to have your wits about you. But that's what adds to the fun of it and the charm of it, because it's so different. It's just completely out there. And like I said, it took me a while to it did take me a little bit of a while to warm to it at first, because I was so intimidated by it. But then I found that as time went on, when I got to play it, I was absolutely just absolutely hooked to it. I can't even describe in words. This game was just even now it's just absolutely mental how crazy this game is. It is just so bonkers and frantic. I can't even begin. There's so many words I could use to describe this game, but they're just some of them. This game really is an out and out just crazy racing game, and it is one of the all-time greats, and it really shows for a sequel to an already fantastic game that really set the benchmark for what was to be on the console and the PlayStation, but even just in gaming in general. This completely just blew it out of the park. So it did. This was just, like I said, it really brought everything to a whole another level. And what you thought was possible at that time with the early days of the PlayStation, this just excelled at. It really did. Now, I know there's probably a lot of people out there that probably wouldn't be as familiar with this game, but if you allow yourself to sit down and play it and try to give it a bit of time and master it, you're in for one frantic, kind of hectic experience. That's all I'd say. And if you really love these kind of adrenaline fueled racers, there's no better game to play than this here, because this game really is just bonkers. I remember even in later years, eventually, when I managed to purchase, I had purchased a Mad Catz steering wheel for the PlayStation with the pedals and everything. And you know what, even in itself heightened the experience as well. Even though the handling isn't as fluid compared to other games that came after, say Gran Turismo, Colin McRae Rally, and they were a bit more realistic. This was definitely a proper out and out arcade game. But even with the steering wheel, it actually responded really, really well to that wheel, and you could actually play it really, really good. Regardless of what peripheral you were using to play it, you would have a fantastic, just absolutely crazy experience with this game. It really was. And then to top it all off, as I'll show now in a second, you're playing in the arenas, where you're playing similar to the original game, where you have one circular arenas, and there's 4 of them in this game, and they've all got their own unique kind of quirks. The first one and the last one being the 2 best of the 4. And this one here, as you can see here, all you do is just drive straight through to the middle, and you'll see what happens. And this will just to give you an idea of how bonkers this game actually is. It really is. Where would you see that in a car game? That is just absolutely mental. And you can see, because I've already said it, like what I done in the previous video, Instruction Derby. I'll leave a link to that in the description if you haven't checked that out also, just so you can see the comparisons between the two. And I've set it on the total destruction mode on this here, and it's just absolutely insane. You can even see my wheels going flying off. The damage physics in this game were beyond anything that was even real, beyond anything that was even possible back in those days. They really stepped it up with this game. And you can see here, the speed of the cars coming at you, there's no way in real life that would even be possible. You would have been dead 10 times over before you even know what was going on. And this is just absolutely frantic. It's just unorganized chaos. It's just absolutely insane. But that's what was fun about it. Because I remember when we used to rent it out, and even when I owned the game, myself and my brothers and my mates would actually sit and actually try to see who could last the longest and have the best times of doing these Death Bowl arenas. Like even this one here, you can see here, you can actually go off the ledge in this. And you'll see now, the minute the cars will just go flying off the ledge, trying to actually destroy me. And it's just because when you set it to total destruction mode, literally every car in the arena is only after you and nobody else. And it's just this game is just crazy, and it is so much fun because it's so bonkers. It's insane fun. You'll have an absolute blast with this game, and it's just even now when I think about it, I've played a lot of racing games, and I'm obsessed with cars and racing games, but I've still to play a game that's as bonkers as this here. And I've played a lot of crazy games in my day, but this here really just stands above there. It's probably the most crazy racer I've ever played in my life. It's so fast, like I said, and frantic, and you can see even here, just like watching the replay, and you can see cars literally just coming flying at you, and just it's like there's no holds barred. Like it's absolutely insane. This is definitely a game you have to play. If you have not experienced a racing game at all like this, you need to play this game. That's all I'm going to say. There's no ifs or buts about it. This game is one of my all-time favourites. It grew to be, took a while, like I said, to get used to it, but when I did, there really is, there is no comparison really. This is for me the best destruction based car game out there, and even to this day it's still never been battered. It really is just insane. So what are your thoughts of this video? Have you enjoyed it? Let me know down in the comments, as I'd love to hear your experience of this game, because it's just, like I said, it's just insane. I'm sure other people have think the same, because it's an excellent game and you have to play it. So if you have liked this video, make sure to leave a like, also subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to be updated when I do release future videos, as I will be exploring and re-exploring old frantic classics like this, and even exploring other games that I didn't get to play back in the day, and share my experiences with all of you. So as always, make sure to keep playing all those classic games and enjoying them, and make sure to keep those gaming memories alive.